Hello, Facebook ads people. I'm Konstantinos, and this is the Facebook ads breaking news podcast. Hello, guys, another podcast. So, podcast 87. We're not going to have a main topic. We're going to answer to 40 questions today. Apparently, all the thing that happened with the rapid fire and me announcing it and talking about it ignited actually the interest of many people about it, and I'm really happy about that. I know that you want a visual representation of that and ad accounts and everything. I'm not ready yet with my tests. For example, and this was one remark that came also from your comments, everybody was asking, do we lower the budget after the first 24-48 hours? Because the whole logic is that we do spend a lot initially to get some sales in the first boosted days, 24-48 hours. And when this is happening and we see that one hot pocket is being formed, then we close everything else. Do we lower the budget after we find the ad set of the hot pocket? To be honest with you, I haven't thought of it like this when I was creating the strategy, but that's good because we are working it together. I think that the right answer is that we are going to lower the budget because I have tested it. It's working better. It makes sense from the perspective that we are going back to what is the comfort zone budget that we have and campaigns that are successful with this budget and all of that. So I think that one change that I'm going to make to the rapid fire is that I'm going to change the budget again back to the normal. So if I'm spending 250 and because if you remember, we were discussing about the rapid fire in the previous podcast that basically if you're spending 100, then you do it with 250 so that you can get fast results in the first 24-48 hours or 200. And then what I would do now and what I'm testing now across accounts is to take it back to 100, and it's working really well. Because on the other hand, if you think of it, there was a flaw on this method because maybe it was super aggressive in terms of scaling, while the reason that we created is so that it can be another way that we test many creatives and we establish more campaigns. So this is one change that I'm going to do. Thank you very much, guys, for the remarks. I have some topics that I want to discuss about opportunity score and stuff, but most probably we'll do it on the next one if you don't send so many questions. I don't mind if we don't have a main topic and we just answer questions because I think that this is the most crucial part. So let's start with your questions. Of course, we have some huge ones again that we have to reply to, but let's start, and there are many pages. Eventually, we're going to finish. So let's start with the first one. It says, perfect timing as I just ran a campaign to the ground by being too greedy. So he's referring to my video that I did recently about scaling super aggressively and what is happening after that and all of that, and how you can actually manage it by just lowering a little bit the spend so that you can be able to actually control it. So I really like the distinction you make between scaling aggressively for a holiday ads vs evergreen ad. On a somewhat related note, I was just watching your podcast 50 Christmas ads and was only 50. So right now if we're on 76, that's actually 26 weeks and we haven't done podcast for a month or two. Yeah, makes sense. It's for Christmas. So podcast 50, Christmas ads, and was wondering if you had a simple rule for how much to spend for Christmas based on what your account spent on Black Friday, Cyber Monday, and how shopping demand changes between the two periods. So basically, if you think of it, I don't have a rule, but let me finish reading. Sorry if you've already answered this one in another video. Don't have to say sorry. As always, thanks so much for any insights here, Konstantinos. So Eduardo, the thing here is this. I don't have a rule, but what I know from personal experience is that the scaling that you're doing during Black Friday cannot stay on the Christmas period unless if you're a very niche store that you're selling something super seasonal, but that means that you didn't scale enough on Black Friday. So if you have the same budget, then there's a problem. So for sure you're going to scale down. I don't think that there are specific rules about it, but based on how successful your Black Friday was, you're going to close your ads, okay? So the Black Friday ads are gone. You are left with the evergreen ads. You don't touch them. This is the way that we work, and you do some Christmas ads. How much is it going to be compared to Black Friday? Well, I guess 50% of the Black Friday budget and less. That makes sense. On the other hand, I'm talking about daily budgets, okay? And not the budgets that, and not also the budgets that you're using during Black Friday or during Cyber Monday, but I'm talking about the normal previous days before that. So yeah, I think you should do at least 50% less or even less, depending on how long it's going to run and everything else. Next one. What usually happens is marketeers find 1-2 creatives that are performing well and they scale them as hard as possible. Thank you very much for acknowledging that, because this is what is happening all the time. They just believe that they can just scale with 1 or 2 creatives. Sometimes I'm getting a question, and that's why I did the daily loop theory video, so that I can reply to them. They say, but what am I going to do? How am I going to scale if I have 1 creative? And usually I answer to them by telling them, how am I going to lose 20-30 kilograms if I want to eat at 3 o'clock in the night? Okay, there's no answer to that. And basically what is happening is that if you're just thinking that just because you want something it's going to happen, tell that to all the guys that they talk to girls into the clubs and basically they never end up hooking up with them. So we have to be a little bit realistic over here if we want to be real. And let me tell you that even if you have 1 creative and you're abusing it all the time, then you're playing with fire. And if you don't understand it, Facebook is here to humble you, and eventually it's going to happen to you and you're going to understand it. Now, if you're going to blame Facebook and you're that stupid blaming Facebook and not yourself, then you're also bad business owner. Next one, continuing on the same question. However, when the ad fatigue hits, they are forced to close the stores as they don't have a proper structure on how to test creatives and maintain profitability for 3, 6, 12 months or more. But that can really happen to anyone. Whether you're a dropshipper or a real brand, the only thing that's different with dropshipping is the fulfillment method. Totally agree with you. What I'm seeing is that there are some people that they're just coming and they're just having an innovative product, or they have good numbers because they have found a good partner that gives them the product and everything, and they're scaling, and then eventually they hit a ceiling. A lot of times I'm referring to examples like Manscaped or Ridge Wallet and stuff, and how they started adding new products or expanding to other countries. If you don't add more products, if you don't expand to other countries, eventually you're going to scale up to a point and then it's going to end. And a lot of times people don't understand that. They just think that they can keep scaling while Meta is giving them a very clear signal that they cannot scale more. And what they do is that they maintain a spend which gradually they are losing until they reach a point that they're zombies at that point, that they have a product, they just sell what they sell with X amount of money. They cannot scale past that because there are other people in competition that catch up and all of that. Don't get me wrong, but if you take this product, for example, okay, and you start selling it and you're the first one, in 2 years there are going to be another 50 people that are selling that. You have to understand that, you have to be okay with that. That's why you have to keep innovating. So yes, it's going to happen. Now, I think I had another question inside here that was asking if it's possible for these companies to recover. Rarely I have seen a company recovering from that just like that. Most of the times, in order for them to recover, either they're going to be sold, something like that, or most of the times, if they're about to be recovered, what is going to recover is what is going to happen is that they're going to have a new product, or they're going to rethink their numbers, or they're going to change their model or something like that. But most probably this question is later. Next one. As a small brand, no clue how to scale aggressively. You see, I'm not going to call him a moron because he's a viewer, but he falls under the same category. So he says, I'm a small brand. Am I crazy? Isn't it controversial to say I'm a small brand, but I want to scale aggressively. Why? You're a small brand. You cannot scale aggressively, you know, that's what they don't understand. So it says, I'm a small brand, no clue how to scale aggressively. Facebook reps are suggesting more creative mixes with images, video catalogs, but we're sticking to one campaign that works for us. Tried agencies and it was a disaster. So we going slow and steady. Perfect. So at the end of the message, he saved it. Okay, so so we should not blame him basically, because he says, okay, so basically he says, I'm a small brand, I cannot scale aggressively, so I'm playing it slow and steady. Perfect. That makes sense, because I remember his name and he was a cool guy on the other comments. So perfect. So I'm not saying that you cannot, but I'm saying that there has to be a lot of things that need to happen, like creatives in many places, you know, your numbers need to be more friendly and all of that. Now, the fact that you change, that you tried agencies and stuff doesn't say anything to me, because, you know, an agency, unless if it's a 360 agency that's doing everything, is not going to change all of that. Even if you take me to your other account, I'm not going to be able to scale it aggressively, as you say, okay? So that's the good part though. You have to accept what you have, you're working with that, and at the same time you're having cash flow in order to make it better, and just starting seeing if you can actually be able to, you know, put more effort to creatives, put more effort to landing pages, innovation of new products, expanding to other countries if you have to do the shippings and all of that. So this is a good period for you to actually adapt to that. Let's go to the next question from Robert. How would you suggest running different products to different target audiences in Ads Manager? Is it better to run these in different account pixel? I have noticed recently, since launching a new product that has completely different target audience, that my other adverts and sales have dropped off despite spend and ad remaining the same. It's the same as the new adverts are working really well but dropped overall account performance. Would love your help and support. So, Robert, do we care about our personal opinion? So over here you're saying that, and I will answer to you how I tested, but you say it's a new product that has completely different target. Your audience disagrees, because if you're having a campaign or campaigns that are getting X amount of sales, then that means, and I can explain it a little bit more to you, then that means that what is happening is that this audience that resonates with product A resonates also with product B. This is why the new campaigns are cannibalizing the old ones. Now, what if I told you that because you have your pixel, which is trained to a specific amount of people, so let's say your pixel is trained to group A of people, then you're selling something which applies for group B or C, but group A and group B are having overlap, okay? And because your pixel is trained for group A, is going to find only the people from group A that they are also part of the group B. In other words, your pixel is trained in a product, and because it's super heavily trained in this product, even if you put a completely different product, it's going to be people that they are liking both of the products, because the pixel has already taken data on that. Now, that being said, if you're having something completely different, and this is my answer, I wouldn't test it with the same pixel in the same ad account. I would try something else. If you have products which are similar, I wouldn't try to reinvent the wheel with a new pixel. I would try to use this pixel and the data that it actually has. I hope that it makes sense, and I hope that I explained it properly, because I really tried to. Next one, Isabel. Hey, I've been absent for a while working on my new brand on offers and now at creatives. Good for you. Long story short, with my other business, I've been having a lot of trouble scaling or just maintaining my daily sales. Your daily loop videos literally explain the phenomenon that was happening with my ad account, because working on my new business, I was absolutely not working on new creatives at all, just going with the same high performing ones. So we do see again the same issue over here. Now that I'm, the reason, I'm not trying to be cocky here with what I'm going to say, but the reason that you're seeing me posting these videos that they resonate with you is because I'm one of you. I'm doing actually ads. I'm working as a freelancer to ad accounts. All the other YouTube channels, with some exceptions, they are not working with ad accounts. They're just teaching theory, and maybe they have a team that is doing the ads. It's different. I, I have an example in my head, but we're not yet in the Patreon area. It's different to preach and different to do. Okay, so let's keep it there. Now that I'm soon ready to launch my ads for my new brand and new account pixel, I'm kind of completely lost. Why? Because if you take all of your experiences from the previous brand, you cannot say that you're completely lost. If we want to scale with creatives, does that mean we forget about targeting and we start with advanced plus campaigns even on a fresh ad account and test new creatives all the time? No. No and yes. So it depends. Let me tell you. And then it says, I just didn't keep up with the changes and different strategies, and if you give me some insight, I'd be so grateful. So let me tell you how it goes. First of all, I think that the future of targeting is going to be creatives. But this is the future. Right now. What do we have right now? Because people are coming and they are saying just do broad, this doesn't make any sense, you're not smarter than Facebook. I don't care about proving if I'm smarter or not from Facebook, I care about results. So when I'm split testing in a new account, and I have another example that I remember now that I should make a video, that I'm starting with broad targeting, advanced plus, because I have to test that. Because if advanced plus is working, my life is easier on the other account. But it's giving me 150 CPM, and then I'm doing interests and they give me 50 CPM and sales also, then it's a no-brainer. I'm going to just work with all of my interests over there, training my pixel, and then when the time comes, I will just go back to my broad audience, advanced plus, or whatever that may be. But for the time being, I'm going to train my account like this. So initially, the thing that you need to do in another account is that you need to test the CPMs between your advanced plus, between broad targeting, and between interests. See which of these three is bringing you sales and which one is having the lower CPM. Take the best decision so that you can train your pixel in the most cost efficient way. That's the whole thing. And after that, when you reach the broad targeting, then you can use your creatives to scale with different angles so that you can do the targeting to your broad, as you say, but not from the beginning. Let's go to the next one. Konstantinos, you did it again. The video is an absolute game changer. Seriously, I feel like I just unlocked a whole new level in Facebook ads. The way you broke down the strategies to scale to 300K, mind-blowing. We have here Liar45. He goes for his questions. I think we have several from him today. In a CBO campaign with 4 ad sets, 2 ad sets have a leading ad that is consuming the budget but not generating repurchase or checkouts. The other 2 ad sets have barely any spend. The product costs around 120. Should I wait until the remaining ads in those 2 ad sets start spending, turn off the underperforming ads, big need, or create a new campaign excluding those 2 ads? Now, I said it several times and I'm going to say it again. I'm not going to do CBO or ABO or advanced plus shopping optimization with messages, okay? And it has nothing to do with you paying me, okay? It's the fact that I'm not having that good imagination to think I'm missing information and I might tell you something that is wrong. The only way that I have learned doing optimization is by watching an ad account. So either join a program or come for a consulting call if you want to learn about CBO optimization. I'm trying to post a lot of videos to show you, but if you cannot break it through these videos, maybe you have to do sessions with me. I cannot tell you what to do because I'm missing so many informations over here, and maybe I have learned doing it by just visually seeing it, okay? So I'm not going to answer this one, sorry. Next one. Do you recommend the setting turn on offline events in the ad level settings? I never use it, to be honest with you. never had issues. Would you prefer using advanced plus catalog, or is it better to keep the catalog in the standard ad level settings? Both ways are working perfectly fine. I haven't seen differences. You can use it in one or the other way. He's referring to toggle on the button on the campaign level or putting the catalog on the ad level. Most of the times, if I'm going to use a catalog, to be honest with you, I'm going to put it on the ad level, just because I don't want to have this different interface on the ad set level with the exclusion and the two windows and stuff. Anyway, next one. Hey Con, great video as always. Looking forward to your uploads. I've had a question though. I've been running my ads very profitably for the past month, but ran into some external issues which made me turn my ads off. Sad. When relaunching, one of my ads got rejected and my performance took a massive hit, and I'm struggling to get consistent sales and break even since then. It feels like I'm using a completely different ad account. How big of an impact can ad rejections have on ad performance, and how should I approach the situation of finding my way back to profitability? So first of all, you either you don't know it or you are lying to yourself. Let me tell you why. Because you say that you turned off your ads. If you turned off your ads, the rejection of the ads has nothing to do with that. It's like the effect of the previous girlfriend, you know, that you have a girlfriend for 10 years, and then when you break up with her, you wanna start with a new girlfriend from where you left it with the previous one that you had 10 years. So it's impossible to do that, because you're having some ads that they were working really well and they were full of data. You close them, and then just because you turn them on, it's not a faucet that you turn on and off and it's always going to give you results. So basically, you ruined all of this progress that you have done, and you don't forget how long it took you to go there. So you might have had a rejection, but rejections in general are not going to cause you issues in terms of the profitability and stuff. I haven't seen problems. But the problem, for example, that I have seen with payment failures, for example, and while you were having good results, that's because you had a payment failure, you had very bad results. So this has to do with the shadow bans and things that we cannot see inside the ad accounts, and they're just behind, and only the reps can actually see being flagged for risk or whatever, which are giving you lesser quality traffic. These things are having internal clocks, so eventually it's going to go away if you're a good boy. So for rejections, I have seen only bans, only accounts getting banned, not getting lower quality traffic. Now, if any account has been flagged because of rejections with a shadow ban, maybe. On the other hand, for payment failures, I have seen a lot of ad accounts having problems, and some ad accounts just operating like normal, like nothing happened. Recently, I had another account that had a payment failure for 5 days. The ads turned on immediately after the payment failure. Everything is fine right now. It's working really well. It's even recovering for some of the sales that it lost. Now, the most important thing about your comment here is that you need to understand that by closing your ads, you're not having what you used to have. And then you are having now some new ads that you have to build all over again, or you have to launch or whatever, but they are not the same ads basically. Next one. Hi Konstantinos, thanks a lot for the video, very interesting and looking forward to test it. Have you ever used this method for industries different from e-commerce? For example, special ad category industries like housing. He's talking about the crazy method. So the crazy method is having very good apply, of course, in e-commerce when we have something and we want to expand it more. But the crazy method had even bigger success into local businesses because in the local area, you cannot just do interest targeting and you just do broad. So finding the different hot pockets is very important over there. Next one, about housing. Yes, it can work. So basically the crazy method can work with everything that is working. So if you have an ad set which is having some decent results, the crazy method is just making it a little bit bigger. It's expanding it more. Hi, in a small country like Greece, should we use mainly ASC and ABO for testing or CBO? Can I mix products inside ASC if they are same category and similar price, or better split? Thank you, your channel is the best. Thank you, Paschali. So we have a Greek guy here. Basically, so let me tell you how it goes. In smaller countries, it's easier to train your pixel to broad targeting because it's smaller potential reach. So basically, as you can understand, it's completely different of training a pixel for 250 million people broad and for 6 million people broad. So in a lot of these countries, and this is why sometimes the reps are believing the things that they're saying, if you're a meta rep on Switzerland, for example, nobody can convince you that you should not use advanced shopping campaign with a new pixel. But some of them in the United States, they do realize it and they do understand that you cannot use it immediately yet. Maybe in the future with all of these changes that Meta is doing, you're going to be able to. So we have this, and about ASC, yes, it could easily work in a new ad account with a new pixel in Greece because it's a small potential reach. Now, when you say about CBO vs ABO, I would use CBO always. I don't use ABO. I use ABO only in ASC campaigns or in some retargeting campaigns, basically. Then we have, can you mix products in ASC? Of course you can. If they have, as you say, the same price and stuff, and you're not going to have fluctuations on the ROAS because of that, or because Meta, for example, is optimizing for the lower price, which would be unfortunate. But yeah, I think I replied to all. Let's go to the next one. Is it also somewhat logical? Would you send better traffic to an advertiser in Meta's place if you cannot rely on them to pay their bills reliably? No. The longer an advertiser works with Meta and reliably pays his bills, the better traffic he gets over the year. I have seen it with others and with myself. So basically we have another confirmation from someone else over here that is telling that if you don't pay your bills, you're having problems with the quality of the traffic. The things that we were discussing earlier, and it's coming from one of my videos that I was explaining it. Next one, I have a question about the rapid fire method. If I start with a daily budget of 200 for CBO, does that mean I start with the following structure and narrow it down to the ad set that is generating the most sales? Yes. Starting structure 1 CBO, 4 ad sets, 10 creative per ad set. All creatives are the same, only the targeting of the ad set is different. Or you can run a crazy method if you want, so same targeting. When starting ad level optimization with the rapid fire method, 1 CBO, 1 ad set, 10 creative, is this correct to understand that the budget would also be reduced to the amount used by 1 ad set? So you're not going to reduce it, and this is something new for me also because I'm testing it, as I said at the start of the video. You're not going to reduce it to whatever the ad set is spending, but you can reduce it to whatever budget you're using in an ASC campaign. So if you're doing $50 or you're doing $100 ASC campaigns, just lower the budget to that, something that is working on your ad account. As I told you earlier in the video, I realized that maybe it's too aggressive to keep the same budget. Maybe I was wrong on that. I'm testing it, and it's better with lowering the budget. Next one. Hey Konstantinos, hope you and your family are doing great. Everyone's great. A quick question on rapid fire strategy. We do multiple campaigns so that we are able to manage the volatility of the algorithm better. In rapid fire, if we have just one ad set, isn't it more susceptible for volatility? Think of it. We do end up with one ad set. We do start with many ad sets so that we can find the best hot pocket. So the same thing that we do, we don't neglect it in this theory, in this method. We just use it also. So we do a a campaign with several ad sets so that we can find the best one. So about this volatility, we do handle it with that way. Next one, hi, I just want to ask if it is advisable to have different pages for same ads, one product only. Wondering if this would have an advantage or I should just focus in scaling my original page. Depends. Are you selling something sketchy? Because this is the way of thinking from sketchy people. So with people that they have problems having multiple Facebook pages or different pages, Instagram pages, it's ideal because they're going to have another page to advertise. If you're a super legit brand and stuff, just use one. You're going to be fine. But if you're doing some magic, you have to have several pages. I don't know anything about it. I'm just hearing from my friends. Okay. Next one, great video once again. I have two questions. Do you actually not work with dropshippers at all? Oh, thank you very much for this question. Okay. Do you actually not work with dropshippers at all? I mean, what difference does it make on your end if ads are the same anyways and the only difference is the fulfillment method? I'm going to answer first this one. First of all, I do work with dropshippers. I know that it sounds like I hate dropshipping from my videos, but I don't hate the successful dropshippers. I hate the other 98% which is not successful. Let me explain. So from my experience, and if you go inside the groups of these dropshippers people, except from the fact that they are teaching everything in a floated wrong way, the second thing is that you will see that from the 100 people, the 2 or 3 are going to be super successful. These are the numbers of dropshipping. There are other people that I used to have, they were extremely professional dropshippers, that they were doing 200 stores per year and you could see 6 or 7 being successful. But anyway, yes, I do work with dropshippers, especially in my mentorship programs. I do have several dropshippers because they come to fix their mindset about Facebook ads after people ruining them. So it's not an issue for me. But I'm not working with any dropshipper. Like 95% of my clients are not dropshippers on managing the ads because dropshippers are doing many things like having agency accounts, getting banned in one account, in another account. They're not ready, they're not mature. A lot of times you see them and they're just having, for example, stock issues. So I'm losing my time I feel like I'm losing my time a lot of times with them because for them it's just a scaling for 1 month or 2. But for me, it's just putting effort for someone who's going to tell me, yeah, the stock is out now, while I don't accept this kind of things. The other thing is the bans that they might have and stuff. I never associate my ads manager or my email with banned ad accounts or ad accounts that they're flagged and stuff. So if something is stupid or I believe that it's dangerous, I'm not going to advertise out of respect for all of my other clients. If it's influencing my other clients, I don't know, I'm just trying to be on the safe side over here. So yes, I'm working with many dropshippers. I have nothing against dropshipping. It's a model that's working. The problem is that it's going to work only for some people. The other problem is that most dropshippers are not ready. That's why they are dropshippers. They're not ready for shipping, for many things that they have to do. And the last thing is that I'm working a lot with them on Facebook ads, but on the mentorship programs. Not so much on the managing side, because I do believe that I haven't seen, for example, a dropshipper guys having a store for 3 years, the same store, never. So they always change. So it's just a fragile relationship that I'm not happy to invest to. Next one. I know dropshippers can scale because of lack of knowledge and massive creative testing. Not only because of that, because of the fact that the moment someone is successful, another 50 people are going to just copy him, because that's in the core values of the dropshipping, that you're just copying others and that you're making money in a lazy way, but which is not the truth. But isn't there such thing as product saturation? Regardless of how many new creatives you have, at some point the product will fill the market. In dropshipping, 100%, because everybody's going to just find it. So doesn't this make dropshipping better in a way, since you can easily pivot to another product. Thank you again for the fire video. No, it doesn't make it okay, because even when I see a lot of people's dropshippers that they're running ads, they even have to leave their pixel, for example, because they are testing, and nothing is working. The reason is because they might have a pixel which was successful with product A, and they're testing everything else, and basically what they're trying to find is something, a product which is going to be liked by people who also like product A with their pixel. So a lot of times you see them, they just drop their pixel, they go to a new account, they start working all over again there, and it's working with a new product which they are going to then scale aggressively, because they should not keep it, but when they scale aggressively the account is going to collapse. It's just a business model that I'm interested in teaching them Facebook ads in mentorships, but I'm not interested in managing another account like this and every 2 months just changing or finding another product. Maybe it's fascinating for them, but for me it's not, for sure. Facebook just doesn't understand how their own algorithm works. Test what works for you, and it costs more, and it costs money to test. Also offer something people want to buy. Yeah, I wouldn't go that far that Facebook doesn't know. Facebook knows, but it's a company that tries to make money. So if you think of it, they do know that traffic ads are not working. Of course they do. It's lower quality traffic. They do know about the awareness campaigns. But what is awareness campaign? It's an upsell, if you think of it, okay? Basically, instead of you spending X amount of money, spend X plus $5 just so that you can do awareness. And awareness is just some extra money that the company takes. Now multiply that with all the users. So if they convince 20% of the people to run an awareness campaign, then basically what do they win? 20% more revenue, okay? So that's it. Not 20% more revenue, it's not correct in terms of math, but you get my point. Next one. Huge value, will test right away on few accounts. One question: after we found this one ad set which got some traction, moving forwards, do we add new ads right there, or we create new campaigns for the new 10 ads testing batch and repeat the process? So essentially, after some time we will have multiple campaigns. So most probably in the next podcast I'm going to touch base with this stupid thing with these gurus, specifically 2 or 3 of them, that they are just talking about this one campaign structure and having a CBO and then tossing inside creators and stuff, which is stupid, because I'm getting again and again consulting calls from people ruining their ad accounts with their stupid way. If you have a campaign which is spending X amount of money, a CBO or an advanced shopping campaign on the ad level, and it's spending on one ad or an ad set, it is not going to spend to whatever you're going to add there, unless if you close this ad set and the budget is going to be redistributed again. So if something is working and it's already spending in something, if you go and you toss inside ad sets or creatives on the ad level, it is not going to work, simply because the budget has been decided. So it has never worked for me. I have tried it many times, it doesn't work. That's why we talk about dominant ads, dominant ad sets, and CBO optimization and all of that, because these are not going to lose their spend. If they lose their spend somehow without you doing anything, something happened and the campaigns, maybe they have reset it. But I'm seeing in all of these other accounts that I'm doing the consulting calls that I was talking to you about earlier. And basically what I see is some CBO campaigns, for example, and they do have inside like 80 or 90 ad sets. You go in and you see that 1 or 2 ad sets are taking all of the budget consistently since the beginning, and it's the ones that they took the budget from the beginning if the campaign was actually working and they didn't have to do changes or optimization. So the way that I see it is that in these other accounts I have proven what I'm saying, but I also know it from my own experience that no matter how many creatives you're going to throw, no matter how good it is, it's unfair to these creatives and to these ad sets, because the budget has already been distributed to the main dominant ad set. So crazy things need to happen for this to change. And if you think of it, what's the reason of you doing that? Just to maintain a campaign? Because it's not a scaling thing, but by doing another campaign, you're actually scaling. Anyway, we're going to cover it more in the next podcast because I really want to cover it because I see more and more people using it and I don't understand the reasoning. Okay, so next one, Konstantinos, hi Con, explanation is pretty good, but what would help a lot more is a visual map for that. He's talking about the rapid fire. I already said we're going to do it when I'm feeling ready to explain it and feeling ready of finalizing podcast. In the inner circle we're discussing about the rapid fire for much longer, but here it's more updated information, okay, but we will see the final form of the rapid fire. It's easy for experience to understand, but I can see how most won't understand. Maybe your editors can create a visual drawing when we're explaining things about strategies. We will see about that. Great video, keep it up. Can you recommend anyone on YouTube for Google Ads? I don't know, but I guess Ben Heath Google Ads channel is going to be fine. I don't know Google Ads to criticize if someone is good or bad. But I guess Ben, if he's doing the same job as he's doing on Facebook ads for beginners and stuff, Google Ads is going to be fine. So let's go to the next question. Hi Konstantinos, regarding rapid fire method, why do you say 10 ads per ad set and not 5 or 3 or 15? What is the point? Basically, the 10 ads is what we're using on advanced shopping campaign. That's why I'm talking about 10. Now, if you want to add 5, if you want to add 15, it's up to you. But I wouldn't do less because I would like to have options when I'm optimizing on the ad level. That's the only thing. In the same way that I'm using 10 on ASC to optimize on the ad level, that's why I want to have 10. But 5 and 3 I wouldn't do it because if you close one, then you don't have many options. But if we talk about 15, you can do 15 or you can do 20. Everything else are clear to me. Graphic visualization would be better for all to understand. My opinion. Have a nice day. Yeah, it's going to come, but I need some more time finalizing it. Next one. I guess you want to say, should we decrease the budget after turning off the other ad sets? Yeah, we explained that thoroughly in the previous. I think we should. But still I'm on the testing phase about it. But I think that all your remarks about this, because most of the things was this, if we should decrease the budget, I start thinking of it and I think that you were right. So I'm doing it and I think you are right about it. We should decrease it to whatever we think that it's normal for the ad account or whatever budget we would put in an advanced shopping campaign. Hey Konstantinos, thank you for this. I will be trying this on multiple new tests over the coming days. One last question. You mentioned one could use 10 creatives per campaign. Should this be unique creatives or would 10 variations of the same creatives, 2 leads, 5 hooks per lead also work? Just making sure. It can be the same angle, but if you're asking me, it's going to be these 10 ads, which are going to be the same across all of the ad sets that you're going to use. And now, if it has to be unique in terms of different angles, no, it shouldn't be. But if you have an angle and you want to test it, yes, you can do it like this. So what you're proposing here, variations of the same creative and stuff, if this creative is proven, perfect, go for it. But if the reason that you use the same creative is because you just have one and you're lazy or you cannot put the time or the money, it doesn't matter, you cannot do another, then we have a problem. Next one. Hey Konstantine, I'm the person with the question at min24. I realize probably my mistake is that I tried to scale by duplicating winning ad sets on ABO campaign and in general working only with ABOs. Now we'll try CBO with the rapid fire method. Well, first try a normal CBO. Don't go immediately to the rapid fire method or to the crazy method. Just try normal CBOs. Can you please give me a bit more specific details like budget? I'm really low scale currently, 75 per day. And how many assets and creatives at the video? My understanding, you're saying 10 different creatives, but the same ones across all assets. Correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think that you're ready to go into a crazy method into a rapid fire thing. But what I think that you should do is a normal CBO with your budget 75. Now about number of assets and stuff, I don't know your AOV, I don't know a lot of things about your ad account, so I will have to skip and not answer this one. Anyway, guys, that's all the questions. I'm tired. There were too many. And I will see you guys on the next one. This is the end of the first part of the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. If you don't want to miss the second half of the podcast, where I'm answering all the remaining questions of the week, visit my Patreon page following the link on the description. This was the Facebook Ads Breaking News podcast. Like it or not, it is what it is.